Hi, 7th grade. I hope you're having a great week. This should be sent out to YouTube the day after Memorial Day, so I hope you are having or have had a great weekend. Anyway, today, 7th grade, we're doing page 19. Our new thing is enharmonics, which we'll talk about in a minute. Enharmonics are notes that have two different names, but they sound the same. But first, we're going to play line 93, Sight Reading Challenge, Procession of the Nobles. I think we talked about this tempo marking, maestosa. If we didn't, it means majestically. This is the procession of the nobles, so kind of the kings and queens and stuff. So this is a procession tune sounding majestic. 93. 1, 2, 3. This would be one you could look up on YouTube. There's a lot of recordings of this, I'm sure. Anyway, something to remember in here. It's all marked staccato, nice and short and light. And then remember, we've still got our dotted 8ths and 16ths. So 1 to 2 and 3. Actually, I should count this a little bit. So 1 and a 2 and 3 and 1 to 2 and 3. Remember, in your dotted 8th, 3 16ths. 1 to 2 and 3. 1 to 2 e and a 3 and 1 and a 2 and 3. I'm going to play this one more time just to review that. Watch the rhythm. 2, 3. All right. Next, looking at 94, enharmonics. Again, two notes, or the same note, same sounding pitch with two different names. So starting off with the flute book, so this will be flute and the low brass. In green, you will have B natural is the same note as C flat, believe it or not. And they're also up here at the top. This gets slightly confusing. Those of you who have had piano lessons, it's easier to kind of figure out on the piano. Another way, not to totally get off track, if you look at your key or your fingering chart at the beginning, so we just said B natural, C flat. So looking at the flute, B natural, C flat. Here we've got one finger, okay? So low brass should be the same thing. Everybody will be the same thing. So every time the note is in green, it's the same note. The lines, the brackets connecting. So B natural, C flat, same note. And then also for flute and low brass, C sharp is the same as D flat. Again, this is up here. This is the same for every instrument. So flutes, then I think just flutes go up an octave. Same thing. When we look at 95, E natural is the same as F flat up here also. And then F sharp is the same as G flat. Same sounding pitch, different name. And we will not get into why they have different names right now. When we play a whole, well, this is a half a scale. And the scale moves by half notes. So in other words, back to the fingering chart, if you were to play every single note, it would be moving by half notes, half steps rather. That's called a chromatic scale. And again, the definition of enharmonics up here, same sounding pitch, written two different ways. Clarinets, trumpets, same thing. Your notes, we'll review them really quickly though. C sharp, D flat, same note. D sharp, E flat, same pitch. And then this is just up an octave for the clarinets. Then 95, trumpets and clarinets, F sharp is the same as G flat. G sharp is the same as A flat. I think it sounds more confusing than it is. I'm going to play 94 and 95 on the flute first. So flutes, fingerings, B flat, you know, B natural, your fingerings are up at the top. C, regular C, C natural, C sharp, you know, up to D. And then we go up an octave. So this is just the flute part, 94. Enharmonics. Up an octave, same fingerings. Moving on to 95 for flute and low brass, same notes. 95, flutes, you also have E naturals new. So low E flat, E natural. Same as regular or higher E natural, except you're putting down your thumb key. And then you know the rest, F, F sharp, G. So here's 95 on the flute. Second half of the 95, octave key, first key up, and then down actually. So yeah, E natural, I misspoke. First finger is down for both low E natural and higher E natural. All right, so that's the flutes. Moving on to the clarinets. I'm going to move my flute book for a moment. Clarinet fingerings. The only new note you have is C sharp, so regular C. Add this key for C sharp. Mine is out of tune. I have problems with my, some of my keys aren't opening all the way. So here's 94 on the clarinet. That should sound better, clarinets, but it doesn't. Here we go, higher octave. In clarinets, I've got to keep practicing on this, switching pinky keys. The more you do it, the easier it gets. Just don't get discouraged. Keep practicing. All right, 95 clarinets. And then, yeah, when they have the star, remember you can use your, like for F sharp, you can use your alternate fingerings. Here's 95. That's another one that's out of tune, clarinets. I'm not going to use that one. It's out of tune because one of my keys is not working all correctly. All right, that's flutes and clarinets. Grab this trumpet quickly. 7th graders, I've been practicing trumpet. I wanted to play at least a little bit of it here. So I'm going to switch to my trumpet book. Trumpet, so your new notes, fingerings, so C sharp, 1, 2, and 3. And then you've got at the top high C sharp, 1 and 2, high D sharp, which is the same as, I guess that's right. Okay. I'm not going to play this second part of line 95 for you trumpets because I can't get those high notes out. I think my embouchure muscles aren't strong enough. But, so, let me play the first half of 94 for you trumpets, and we'll talk about, and this would be the same for baritone. And trombone, you've got it lucky today. Anyway, here's 94 trumpet. Then upper octave, like I said, not playing it. So high C, C sharp, 1 and 2, D is 1, D sharp, 2, and then E would be open again. Then E flat, 2, D, 1, D flat or C sharp, 1 and 2, and then C open. Okay? Then 95. I will play that really quick. And then the second half of 95 trumpets and baritones, they don't change your octave. So that's 94 and 95. Moving on to percussion. We're reviewing the 7-stroke roll percussion, and I've got my handy dandy fake percussion or fake snare here. So 94, again, we're reviewing the 7-stroke roll, and remember measure 1, it's just reviewing the 16th, and then the second half of that is going over the which is how we get 7 strokes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so and first line, you're starting on left stick, second line starting in right stick. So here's 94 for percussion. And then we're repeating. One thing, I stopped at the end of the first line. Remember, the 7-stroke roll looks like a dotted 8th note. And then the single 16th is the tap. Okay, line 2, switching hand, or starting with right. Repeat. Okay, that's 94. Moving on to 95. Now we're doing the 7-stroke roll that starts with the tap in the tap is at the beginning, so starting with a 16th, and then the roll is in the dotted 8th after that. So here's line 95, starting with right hand again. Repeat. Second line, starting left hand. Repeat. Okay, that's percussion. I'm practicing a lot of percussion too. It's getting easier. The more you work on that again, just don't get discouraged. It gets easier. All right, moving on to line 96. I'm on the wrong book again. Switching back to the flute book. This is the chromatic march. Remember, chromatic scale moves by half notes. So most of the beginning of this line 96 is chromatic. Excuse me. So 96, the new thing we have here is a sign. It's the funny looking S thing. Look at the top. Yes, in the yellow. It's not very easy to read. Yellow where it says, the orange says terms and symbols. Yellow has the new terms. Coda, a concluding section of a composition. And then underneath del segno el coda, which is abbreviated DSL coda, which is repeat the music starting from the sign and jumping to the coda where indicated. So the way 96 goes, I'm going to move my book right here. We start at the beginning. We keep going. Here is our sign. Everybody see that? It's a funny looking S. An S with a line through it and some dots. So we play through here. We ignore this for right now and we go to here where it says DSL coda. DS means go back to the sign. Remember, DC means go back to the beginning. DS means go back to the sign. So then we would go back to this sign, play to here where it says go to coda. Coda's sign is a circle with a cross in the middle of it. So then we go to the coda. So again, to review, let me use this pen. So start at the beginning. This pen is turned down. I probably don't want to write on my music. I'll use this one. Okay. Beginning, play through here, play through here. DSL coda, go back to this S, which is sign. Play here to the coda, play there. Okay? I'm going to play line 96 on the flute, the chromatic march. Allegro. Move my stand back a bit. Here we go. Back to the sign. To the coda. The reason for codas and the DS and all that, it's just to save printing music over and over. So that's 96. And again, we see on the left here on the yellow, coda and DSL coda. All right. 97. It's in the bag. This again, if we were in class, and maybe next fall we'll do this as a playing test. This is a chromatic section. I'm going to play it on the flute for now. So 97, Watch your articulation. Here we go. All chromatic, all moving by half steps for everybody. Alrighty. If you look at line 98, Excellence in Theory, you could test yourself on this. This frequently gets confusing for people. This is 98, purple, Excellence in Theory. Write the enharmonic of the given pitch in both the staff and space. So they want you to write the note and then the name of the note. I challenge you to work on this and then go back to your fingering chart and check to see if you're correct. For instance, we already talked about C flat for flutes, but let's look. So C flat equals what? What do you think? And look back at the beginning. Another name we could actually check right. Nope, not there. C flat would be B natural. So that would be the answer. I don't want to do all the flute ones. So let's look at a clarinet one. How about clarinet and trumpet? Here we have A sharp. A sharp, double check your fingering chart. A sharp, another name for A sharp is B flat. All right, just work on that. We will talk more about this when I hopefully see you in person in the fall. Anyway, that's it for page 19. Just keep working on those fingerings, clarinets, trumpets, baritone, everybody. You'll get it, and the flutes. All right, have a great week. I'll see you next time.